Okay, hello everybody, my name's Artendris. Welcome back to a little thing that is probably going to be popped onto the front of the next episode of Dragon Survival. So, Demon gave me control of the server I am on by myself, and by control I mean I can start it up and just run it when I'm alone, basically so I can do some building, which is what we're going to do today. But I pop in and things are looking a little bit different. We still have winter there, but we have a new Zipplebacks, we have a Thunder. You're just in a different key. You're just in a different spot. This is Key's Aether Dragon, I believe, and Key's Skulk Fury. Well, we have a new Night Fury over here. This is like this is the Toothless Night Fury. But last time we were working on the pits. Brief look at this to see what's different. We just have... Yeah, I'm assuming someone was going around flying on Thunder, which is why Thunder's not in a pen right now. That would be my best guess. But, yeah, we were working on the pit last time. Basically, we were just trying to get as many Zipplebacks into spots as we could. You know what? I think that's Key's Zippleback. I think at one of the previous episodes, Key had a Zippleback egg, but had yet to hatch it. So I guess Key just went ahead and did that. But yeah, we have... I'm forgetting a lot of the names right now. But anyways, this is Monstrous Nightmares. Above is Screaming Deaths. Is that what they're called? I want to say that's what they're called. This floor down here, I believe, is Natters. Have some crafting tables here. Rose, Jewel. You don't have a name. I can run over to Key's house if I want to get your name. I don't quite remember it myself, though. But yeah, this is what we were doing last time. We just have all these different nest floors set up and whatnot. And we now have stacks and stacks and stacks of cobblestone and other random stones we picked up while mining. So that's about what happened last time. I'm just popping on the server alone so that I can do some building of our house that I am planning to do in the style of like a Viking style longhouse, or sort of. Maybe more like a keep. Honestly, my idea, the ideas that I was like floating around in my head, honestly make it maybe more akin to like Whiterun in Skyrim was some of the inspiration I was going for in my head. We'll see. I'm not 100% sure about like floor plans and whatnot. I built the frame of this thing. I'll have to fix that one. Hold on, I think there were probably some... I'll have to fix all this I'll have to fix up these little bits as I go. I remember that. But yeah, I do have plenty of cobble, so it might be good to make use of some of that. Maybe turn some of it into stone bricks. Well, we'll think about it. But yeah, I'm just on alone. Going to be doing some building. I won't make you sit through all of it. There's going to be a lot of oohing and eyeing. But, figure this would count both as a recap and a little thing saying, yeah, I've got some work to do. So, I'll see you when I'm a bit closer to done. Maybe I'll do a couple of, I might do a couple of progress updates. I'm probably not finishing this tonight anyways. Aha! It was kind of bothering me a little bit that I could not remember Key's Natter's name. It's Salvia. And obviously Key has a Zippleback. I'm sorry, I completely forgot about Janice and Lear. That's when Key hatched them, there was a whole thing about me trying to figure out Janice's name origin and why I knew it. Of course I knew that, blah. I'm just silly. Anyways, I haven't even started planning stuff. I'm getting ready to work. Oh yeah, I suppose I forgot one other thing of the recap that I was doing a moment ago. I breeded my winter with Key's, I believe you're called Blind Fury, I believe that's what the sign said a moment ago. We breeded these two together with some honeycomb and got a nightlight egg that went to Demon because apparently when I wasn't here, Demon and Blind Fury ended up killing Pearl. I missed a little bit, so some sadness happened. Yeah, but we bred some dragons to get a new egg. I forgot that little bit for the recap. Anyways, for real now, building time. Okay, I'm back with like a little update. This little building segment's ending up a little longer than I was expecting. I thought this was going to be a couple of minutes, me saying, oh, recap. Here's what we did last time. Here's what we're doing between sessions right now. It's ended up being like a solid 5 minutes. Anyways, I've sort of worked out some plans for what we're going to do. I haven't finalized everything just yet. But basically, I'm taking a lot of what's the word? A lot of inspiration from Dragon's Reach in Skyrim. A game I've never actually beaten, but I've made it to Dragon's Reach in every single playthrough because it's very hard not to. So that's the hold in Skyrim I have the most familiarity with. It's the one I spent the most time at. Basically, I'm kind of planning to have some like big tables on the sides here. This main hall is going to be almost entirely for show. Like I'm thinking about putting like a fire pit in the middle, a whole 9 yards and all that stuff. But anyways, up here we have like this raised spot. For right now it's very basic. I had some random brick stairs that some of the copper ones were replaced with, so I put those here as like a makeshift throne on like a raised platform, like sort of. Again, nothing is final. Whether or not the throne stays is even up for debate. It's just sort of ideas I have. It's definitely going to not look like this. But anyways, to either side of it, we have these big staircases, which eventually are going to have like this catwalk going around a lot of the inner working spot. Because again, I looked at some pictures of some actual longhouses and at Dragon's Reach, and it had a little bit of a catwalk on it. 90% of this build, I'd wager maybe even 95% of this build is just going to be for show. Like, almost nothing here is going to be functional. This is not like a working base. This is just in hopes of looking good. But anyways, yeah, we have this big thing. Probably going to put in this little catwalk. I'm not sure if I'm going to go all the way or if it's going to stop like part way through. I might start after attaching it to that pillar. I'm not entirely sure. But anyways, over here I still need to fill this in, but have like this back wall and whatnot. Maybe a fence, maybe I don't know. But over here, I actually added a little addition on. We now have this little extra bit in which I am going to put in a flooring and put like my own little room. It's going to be very small. It's going to have 2 little chests for super valuable things. I might put in like an armor stand or something like that. I should have room for it in the corner. It's going to be very basic. It's basically just going to be for my beds and like a singular chest or 2. Really? I'm not sure if that's being picked up. It's like 11 a.m. Not 11 a.m. 11 p.m. at night while I'm recording this, which means that people are revving their engines super loud outside, because of course that's what you do at just super late at night, if you're a jerk. Anyways, then personal bedroom up here is going to have like a little bit of nothing major. And then behind the throne room, I have this little doorway. I'm going to put some banners here and then some doors like sort of hiding behind them. And then we have this thing. Yeah, it's a tiny little hiding staircase. My original goal, well, I had the original goal of maybe doing the thing where you learn how to do one redstone trick in order to do one thing, in which case I was thinking about making this like an actual door and then putting like behind one of the banners a little button that is a stair, and then make this like an actual redstone door, have like cobblestone blocks push back in, that hence the little gaps right here. I decided I'll just go with like doors hiding behind banisters or banners, blah, that's simpler. And then that leads down to here, turn, and you have this little segment, and then there's going to be some doors here leading into like the actual Minecraft helpful part of the build. I seriously need to go gather more cobble. I keep putting it off, or at least I should move the stone cutter over here. But yeah, a little bit of an update. obviously I'm still missing walls. I still need to finish up roofing bits and whatnot, but I figured might as well get some idea of what the inside is going to look like so that I know how big to make things. I'm still planning on making this some sort of like big window of sorts, I think is my original goal. A lot of the other like things I still need to work out. Obviously I'm going to need to make some of these pillars a lot higher. What I could do, my original goal was to have it like equal level, equal level, equal level roofing, and then go back down and make it equal level with how I had this originally laid out. But what I could do is have the catwalks end on like this pillar, and then just have the roof taper off and make its highest point at the back. I could try something like that. We'll have to see. The roof is definitely going to be the hardest bit. Anyways, let me get back to work. Okay, so this is going to be the last recap for tonight. Then I'm going to be shutting off, and you'll see this whenever the next session actually goes up. But anyways, actually you might also see this whenever I decide to hop back on and finish it. I'm not entirely sure. But for right now, we're going to be calling it quits. So, nothing changed over here, really. When was the last thing I came in? I mean, you've already seen some of the changes just by me, like, waving around. Anyways, we've seen this little bit. That's going to go down into the basement. No more work's done down here. I need to clear out a whole bunch of dirt, replace it with some sort of stone. Speaking of which, anywhere you see cobblestone in this building is likely to change. It's just what I have. And a lot of it is going to be some sort of stone base. So I figured, use the cobble and then come in with different blocks to like break it up a bit. Anyways, these stairs, they'll eventually become stairs. We have this little walkway area. And then, I was having a hard time trying to figure out exactly how I would want to do the roofing. So I decided I wouldn't put a roof. For reasons, as, our good friend Winter here is actually showcasing. I was trying to figure out a way to, like, balance longhouse style, kind of taking inspiration from, like, Dragon's Reach, and also putting my own twist on it. Plus, this is a world of dragons and we're taming and whatnot. So I figured, instead of this weird roof that that's probably not even going to end up looking good whenever it's all said and done anyways, make the catwalks just sort of end here, turn that into a doorway, and then this part will be like actually covered full roofing and whatnot, then everything else can be like flat thing. Ugh. I have a headache, it's pretty late, I've been at this for a while. Anyways, yeah, this flat thing, I have a little bit of stairs. Still unsure about how some of this is going to work, as you can probably tell. Plus, I still have scaffolding blocks in here as well. I have a couple little spots already. Sadly, this is only going to fit like some of the smaller dragons, like the Furies and the Natters. Probably the Grunkles. Gronkle, not Grunkle. Yeah, probably Gronkles too, but things like... Well, I'm never fitting one of you. That's just not going to happen, but like... The Dragon Mounts or the Zibblebacks probably won't fit. Skrells will be a tight fit. But for right now, we just have like a couple of spots for like smaller dragons. I'll probably put... Those will get some sort of like a nesting place or something to showcase what they're for. And then from there, just have a little bit of a step up, another step up, and then I was planning on kind of doing the same thing up here. I'm not entirely sold on it yet. I might just... I was planning on putting like a few more steps up and then putting like a few more spots on this level, but I might keep it at just the 2. I mean, kind of 3. Honestly, if I just make it all this level instead, you could probably fit like quite a few dragons just on this like flat rooftop. You know what? I think I'm going to do that instead, and then we can have like the actual sloping roof over that little segment. You know what? That's a small adjustment, just making everything like the same height. Break like that. Although I am going to make it this give it a little bit of something with this little step up to the other side so it's not just completely flat. I'll make that one small adjustment and then we'll call it for here, so 1 second. Okay, I switched it back over. A few torches I can put on just like the top of some of these for now. I still have to finish out the walls and whatnot. These will probably eventually get fencing pieces in between them just to avoid me going like, ah, or off the edge. Then we have the second set of pillars here. That one I keep going back and forth on because it always ends up in this weird place. It's going to make planning out the inside a little strange. But I think I'm going to settle on keeping them just because it feels like it should have an extra set of pillars. Anyways, that still leaves a decent space here in the middle for the fire pits. I can probably put in at least some decently sized tables on the side. This place is going to feel very cramped on the inside. I don't know if I'll be able to avoid that. I might have to give up either the table or the fire. It's looking like it's going to be either way, but we'll cross that bridge eventually. I'm going to need a whole bunch more torches. I'm going to need a bunch more building materials. I'm going to have to finish some planning things. But for right now, that's all I got. So I guess this concludes our little building segment for right now. On to the rest of this video, whether it be more building in a different time slot, or the actual section, or the actual next session. Blah, words are hard. Okay then, hello there everybody, not full intros. Back at it with building on my own in the Dragon Survival world. Where were we? It's been a few days, probably just about a week since I was last on by myself. Have a lot of this like planned out somewhat. Still unsure about these pillars. They take up a lot of space. I might have to get rid of those. It feels like it needs them. But like the space. If I'd made this whole thing quite a bit bigger, I feel like that could work better, but I don't know. I have to decide on that. Still have to decide on wall blocks. Still have to actually put in stairs and work on the basement as well as make my own little room. And figure out exactly how I'm doing the basement. Although, or no, roofing. I already said something about the basement, didn't I? But, we're getting there. We had decided on keeping this roof as like this flat area with a couple little spots to park some dragons. We'll eventually decorate those a little bit better. I don't know, maybe some like colorful wool rings of some sort. I'll just have to go gather some dye. Maybe make one blue one, one red one. Or I could like use these little spaces here, make little rings with like a red center with like a blue outline. Sort of akin to a bullseye of sorts. Maybe. Little design things and walls. And figuring out how we're going to be doing this little roofing segment. Gonna need more spruce because these inner ones are going to have to go up higher. But okay. I think the most important thing at this point is probably going to be choosing a wall block. Because I can't really 100% finalize what's going to be going on inside or what's going to be going on top until I can actually build up these sides somewhat. So what are we going to do? Still want to use some glass. Like, I think this is just going to be a big glass panel. So I'm going to have to grab some sand for that. Then what are these sides going to be? I feel like I want to use a wood block, but I've also made it so that this is going to be holding dragons. That in universe, it would be a bit weird for this thing to be entirely made out of wood. Honestly, having these wood pillars is kind of scary if we're having a whole bunch of dragons here. So that leaves a few options. The obvious cobblestone walls, which would be simpler. Yeah, they would be the simplest option and the easiest option. Plus the one I definitely have everything I already need for and don't have to go gather anything else. We might fall back on that. I think I might use some more copper stairs on like those points at the top. I'm using them as like this foundation bit, but I might fill out that and then put more or less the exact same thing up top, where it's 2 stairs, 2 deep slate, and 2 stairs on top of it with that sort of indented indented thing. I think that's what I might do, and then I'm going to be using that. It might probably just be best to use like a cobblestone or an andesite. I could use like an andesite or granite or something, or a diorite. They all look pretty decent with this render pack. What's the word? I'm currently blanking on texture pack. That's what it's called. I don't know. I'm going to need to go gather more spruce wood. That's for sure. And I'm going to have to make some final decisions on that stuff, as well as grab some more deep slate. So I know at least what I've got to do to start up. Spruce wood is going to be the easiest thing to do quickly, and while I'm gathering all that, I'll think on it more. Okay, so I gathered the better part of a stack of spruce logs. I'm probably going to need more than that, but I figured at least have a little bit to start with. And then I went ahead and started grabbing some, like, stone blocks to see what they would look like. And I mean, I haven't tried out putting a bunch of diorite together. Putting andesite, well, I mean, we have these ones as well. Regular andesite looks fairly good, but it's pretty similar in color to, like, the cobble. I'm not sure if I really want to use that. The polished one looks good as a singular block, but it's just that. It's good as a singular block, doesn't connect it really with anything else. I can try the andesite. Did I not grab the rest of the andesite? I didn't grab the... Oh, diorite, rather. Really? Polished diorite. That looks... Well, I like that white stone brick. I'm not entirely sure if it's what I want to use. But this is the granite. I am actually a really big fan of what granite looks like with this texture pack. Like that really rough hewn rock texturing. I think that's what I'm going to go with. So I don't think I have a whole lot of granite, but hopefully there should be some over in those chests. Let me clean up the rest of this as well while I'm right here. But I'm still going to need more deep slate if I'm going to be using that for some detailing bits, and I think I'm going to need more copper. Although I think I have some that needs to be smelted up still too. Anyways, granite. I don't think I have great amounts of it. In fact, I only have 32 pieces of granite over here. That is even less than I was expecting. Hopefully there's some over there. I should keep those on me and some of the cobble. Also keep the deep slate on me. You can go in there, and that should be good. So, do we have any left over in this chest, or am I going to go on a granite hunt? On a granite hut, because I really want to use that for this build. I think it will look pretty good. Dirt, cobble, rotten flesh, dirt, granite, granite. Yeah, I don't think anyone's going to mind if I take some of these like 30 stacks of granite we have randomly lying around, because we still have plenty of resources for when we continue on with this. But that should be a decent spot to get started. I'm gonna turn a lot of this into into polished granite, start building up some of these walls. And I guess from there we'll have to decide once and for all eventually. Should also start up some cooking up some potatoes, because I'm about to start starving to death. Potatoes, coal, grab a single piece of charcoal to make up for it. Let me start getting to work. I'm just gonna be here for a little bit, turning stuff into polished stuff and waiting for food to cook. Okay, so I ran out of deep slate and I basically ran out of copper. I have a little bit more smelting up, but I don't have the coal really to smelt it all, so I'm gonna have to go gather more coal, gather extra logs so I can make charcoal probably, and gather deep slate to finish it up. But I have these 3 segments here more or less done. I need 1 piece of deep slate there and the 2 deep slate there. And obviously these orange stairs need to turn green to complete the look, but I kind of like it. There's something a little bit weird about it that I can't quite put my finger on it. But I think I'm fine with the weirdness. It's weird, but I think it's a good weird. I think that's where I'm going to settle with it. I might hate it as soon as we're actually done completing everything, but that's for later me to decide. Right now, I need to do some more. I need to go gather a bunch of materials, and I just need to wait for some copper to finish up. It looks like that chunk probably is by now. But for right now, I'm just going to dump most of my stuff in a chest and get to work on gathering stuff. Hopefully I'll find a decent chunk of coal and whatnot while I'm underground. It should hopefully make this copper smelting a little bit easier. So, let me get to gathering resources. I'll see you with an update, probably when this section at least is done. Okay, I'm back after working on this for probably close to an hour. So, gathered over a stack of deep slates, actually down to 56 that one, though I don't need too much more of it, I don't think. And I gathered a little bit more copper, and I smelted all that up. I got a little bit extra coal. I think that's what I was doing last time. Resource gathering. Anyways, I took all that deep slate and copper and whatnot, smelted all that stuff up, and I have now completed the wall up to this point. And I think I'm liking that. I made some more changes we'll be able to go in and see in just a moment. But I'm a little unsold on these things right here, but I have no idea how I would fix it or what I would change. Because I want to keep that pattern kind of going all the way around, but just putting the stone down to the door made it weird, made it look like a little weird, so I put like an extra copper slayer there. I don't know, it could be worse. It's a little weird, but it could be worse. I'll have to think about it more. And basically, I've just done the exact same thing on this side, but let's actually head in, shall we? We'll see some quick changes I made. So these pillars are still up in the air about whether they're keeping. These ones have not been touched. But I did change how the stairs are looking a little bit. Actually, I messed up a little bit while copying this over, didn't I? What did I mess up? Something's looking weird here. Hold on. I was like messing around with how the stairs are going to be different. Oh, that's why. I ended up putting this pillar here to like kind of denote like this block piece here. Sort of adjusted how the stairs would be going accordingly, although that is still not correct. What did I mess up here? You have this 3x2 little landing here now, which I don't have over here. So fine, adjust this to have the same 3x2 little landing. Actually, no, this one just now has a 3x3 little landing. What did I do? It's symmetrical around the throne piece. Should start on this block, yes. 1 stair, 2 stair, 3 stair. What is different? No, those... I'm so confused. What did I do? Oh, hold on. I'm a goof. I'm starting the pillar on the 4th stair, not the 3rd stair. That's why it was looking a bit weird. Anyways, yeah, I tried changing how the stairs look. Whether or not that change sticks, I'm not entirely sure yet, but basically... What? Would I just, like, move those stairs into... I don't know, we'll have these tiny little cupboards corners back here. I'm not entirely sure what I would do with them in this case. I suppose what I could do instead is make it a 3x3 staircase and then what, like, pull it out a little bit more? I don't know, still some decisions to make on that front. Although a 3x3 one that turns instead of just a big one that comes up might still look better. It'll just be a bit weird for some of the other things. But anyways, instead of these two, like, catwalk weird things, I tried switching it around to make it, like, one big catwalk. Like, going over the throne. I don't know. I don't know. That's going to be easier to build around, but I'm not sure if I prefer the look of it or not. It might just be what I stick with because it's going to be easier to build it like that. Although I might change how these steps go. Because we can also, like, come up here. Yeah, I think I'll have these stairs go up a little bit steeper. Like, rather than this long 4-1, maybe go up on this 2-1 instead. And then it comes back up to here, which is like, this is mostly untouched. I put these little corners were like down. I put them all to the same height. And now I'll be able to put like one smaller dragon spot here and then probably two next to each other. Let's see, these spots are 9. The middle point would be there. Nothing lines up with the pillars anymore. I had all these nice pillars planned out and whatnot, like equal distance. And then trying to put all my random ideas together has ended up with nothing actually matching my measurements. I probably should have done some more planning before I just started randomly placing blocks, but we're already this far, I can't exactly start all the way over. But anyways, instead of like doors, I think I might actually just do like an arch and just sort of line it up with where the top of the roof is going to be. I'm not entirely sure how that's going to be going just yet either. I know that this little segment is going to be 1 block lower than this segment. I know that for sure. Although I'm going to need to go grab more copper because 9 of these spots, I think, is what I counted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, 7 spots. 8, 9, and then whatever's happening here. I don't know. I'm missing like 7 to maybe even 12. I don't know how much that's going to do, how I'm doing this. So that's like 4 spots on its own. So yeah, I'm missing a decent chunk of copper. 9 copper equals 1 of these. So if I'm just counting the 7 that I know for a fact, that's 9 times 7. Or 63. Blah. I was going to say 49. I was like, nope, that's wrong. So I'm currently 60 copper short for finishing off those cap pieces. Here's if anyone else has some copper that they have lying around. Maybe there's some copper left in one of those chests over there. It's not really something that you use for a whole lot. I think at one point, one of the others said that if I had any copper and I needed some, I could borrow it, but I could be making that up for my own devices. I don't know. I don't know, I just feel weird and wrong just sort of rummaging through chests saying, oh, you have copper? Thanks. You're not here to say I can take it, but thanks anyways. I don't know. That's something I could just go mining for myself. It's not like it's super hard to find copper. Well, it's just going to be a bit more of a trek. I don't know. I just feel weird just taking things without asking, and I never specifically asked if I could borrow some copper if I ran out and needed some. I don't know. I'll go hunting for more copper if I... Well, it's not like it's hard to find. Anyways, there's a bit more copper. I'm sure I'll find more just like rummaging around in these caves. I think I'm going to keep going for a little bit longer. I'll see if I can't quickly grab up the copper I need to finish off those toppers, and then I think we'll be doing one more segment of building at a later point to actually build the roof, because I don't know if I'm really going to be able to finish up everything else tonight. This is taking quite a while. The copper, you get big chunks of it for just like a couple little veins. That shouldn't take me too long to gather it anyways. Okay, so Demon, if you're watching this, I'm borrowing 5 raw copper. I found 59 very quickly, which is just like a handful short. So I can replace the 5 copper if and when you ever need it. I just don't feel like hunting around for like one more vein of copper right now. So yeah, copper. I did end up stealing or borrowing just a tiny bit of it, but I'll replace it if you ever need it. Anyways, I just need to smelt this up, and this should be enough to put the caps on all of those. Okay, so I ended up with 4 extra pieces of copper, which I suppose means I only needed to borrow 1, but I'll return these. I'll return the 5 I borrowed If and when Demon actually cares. But anyways, I finished up topping off these. We have this one at its lowest point. I just have these two at the same, which will go into this slightly higher one right here. Some of these pillars are going to be a bit finicky. But I realized that with the weird way I had this like random square here, but most of this wasn't going to be roofed, that going directly from this to that tiny thing might actually cause an issue. So to actually fix this, it didn't actually take any copper, just took a few extra. Actually, I don't know if it took any extra blocks, minus like the extra flooring bits on the inside. But I basically just gave myself a bigger bedroom, which is going to make building the place easier despite the added size. So that's pretty nice. And I did start to think about it, and I was like, I was going to have it low, higher, low, and have this weird, and have the little dome like that. But that's not going to really work, is it? Because it's also tapering wider to lowest. It's going to be weird if wide is low and equal to the thinnest spot, and then like the average width area would be the same. The way that this building would normally go if the whole thing was getting like rounded roof is this would be the same level as that little section there, with being shorter than like this long section, which would have the longest one. So basically, I'm cutting it in the middle, getting rid of the top tapering section, and I would still have to leave with tapering from highest here to lowest over there. So I'm going to have to bring this area up 2 blocks. I only have 2 spruce logs left, so I'm going to have to cut down another tree or 2 to make that work. Although I am still going to need some more wood for more of these pillars anyway, so that's unsurprising. But yeah, again, another bunch of solid work. I still have to make some final final decisions on stairs. How do I want to do this even? I can readjust how like the throne thing is too. At this point, I could get rid of the like hidden door thing and then just like hide like a staircase down into the basement here. Would probably work better. I did really like the like hidden door thing, but it's not going to be as easy to work in as I was thinking with everything else I'm making decisions on. I'm not entirely sure. I don't know. I could put in that extra pair of pillars that I've been oohing and eyeing over in this little spot here, and then just like move the throne room and move the throne back now that I have a little bit more space. I could do that. I don't know, I still have some final decisions to make, but I've been working on this for a couple of hours tonight, and for right now I think we're going to call it. We should be able to more or less finish this up with one more little section. And at this rate, with the length of the first part of building and second part of building, we might be able to get a build episode entirely between now and the next episode of Dragon Survival proper. Whenever that gets recorded, it's been a week or 2 since we actually got together for multiplayer. But anyways, I'll see you in the next part. Okay, we're here for part 3 of the building update, which is might just be the last little segment here at the end. And when this is done, I might even have enough for a full video on the build. But yeah, I didn't do like a little coming back in thing with this. I just got straight to work, and I've been at it for a couple of hours now, closing in on 3. But anyways, yes. Last time we didn't have a roof, and I think some of the walls and some extra things were still up in the air about how they were gonna go. But that's changed a little bit. There are still some things I want to work out a little bit more. I'm still missing some copper for a few more pieces. So obviously there's still some adjustments to be made. But I have now like properly partitioned the little landing zones for the dragons, and have started working on these. We didn't have many sheep over there, and I'm outside of range, so they're not actually growing their wool back right now, which is a bit of a pain. I'm going to have to actually spend a little bit of time in town waiting for wool to come back. But basically, we're just going with this little cross pattern here because it was like the easiest thing to do with the wool I already have. This one's going to be the same, and then these two are going to have to be slightly adjusted because these are 6x4 instead of 5x5 like these two. But anyways, this wall is now a full wall. Instead of this weird little catwalk thing, I've decided that I'm going to go with just like filling in this entire area. So now we have these stairs going down like this. Still have to fill that in. I'll eventually put fences right here. And because of that, the throne now looks like this, and it's now a little alcove, which also provides me with a little bit more room in this little area, which, I don't know, maybe I don't have to start digging out like a huge area underground. Maybe this just becomes like a little storage room instead. That'll save me a lot of digging work. But anyways, that's all minor stuff. Whoops, I forgot I had to jump over that little gap. A lot of minor stuff. A few things are like slightly shifted. I think pillars are pillars are probably the same, but maybe a little bit different. But the big drawing factor for things that has changed is, I think, obviously the roof here. So now we now have this thing. We can look at it on the map, and it's like that. It's kind of just like a brown blob on the map. It's hard to get like actual things. But yeah, we have this curve, and then it like lessens as it goes up. I don't know, there are some, as I said, there are a few things that need adjustments in a few places, and I don't know, there's something about a couple of the spots that's a little rough, but I couldn't think of a different way to solve that. And if I just grab a few pieces of dirt, I can hop up here. Basically, highest point is here, lessens, lower, lowest. And I suppose like showing from the back properly is a decent idea. I left some of the logs exposed, and I think I'm going to keep it like that. I'm still unsure entirely on it. But yeah, basically it's done. I need a little bit more copper for a few of these. That's not going to be too difficult. I need to fill in some of these. Hold on, I have my crafting table right here. I can just go like that and that. And that, because I didn't actually end up with enough just off those little things. And there we go. I just didn't feel like making extra slabs right before I started. Because as I said, I've been on here for a little bit. This is just a little progress update, and then I'm hopping off myself. But anyways, yes, I'm missing a few little pieces of copper. Missing glass still that needs to be filled in there. But other than that, I just have some like detail works inside basically, but the outside shell is all done. I've been playing too much Demon Slayer. I thought that was some sort of demon about to kill me. I kind of like the back. It's nothing special, but I don't know. I don't think I've actually came to take a proper look at this side, but I think I do like it. There's something weird about the front, but I think the back works pretty well. But I think that's about it. I'll probably add this on to the end of all the 3 build parts, or at least that as a full video, because in a couple of days we'll be actually getting back up into multiplayer, and I'm either gonna complete this in my own time, and you'll see like the finished product in the multiplayer, or I might even finish it during the multiplayer sessions. Who knows? But yeah, it's coming along. I'll be able to finish this in relatively no time. It really is just a little bit more resource gathering for glass, copper, and wool. And then I need to finish up with some things. Like, I'm probably going to put, like, a little desk here, I think. Actually, no, that was my idea. But then I ended up having to push the flooring back a little bit so he didn't have a little pathway here. But never mind, I was thinking about having a desk here, but I don't think I really have the space for it anymore. This might just become, like, a big window. Oh no, as I said, final product decisions to make, but we're more or less there. So I guess, and on Saturday we'll be recording the next multiplayer session. You'll probably see that on Tuesday or something. So yeah, I don't know when I'll put up this, but this will be going up with the rest of the build products. as its own video. I'm just repeating myself at this point. I'm tired. It is very late. I've been on here a while. Anyways, I want to thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed as much as I have, and hope to see you next time. So, without further ado, take care, everybody.